Welcome to Monday Matters, where we cover real estate topics that you have questions on. Today's topic is, what is a contingency and how do I handle it? This is a question we have had many times. A contingency is when someone else wants to purchase a property based upon them selling or closing on another property to complete the transaction. Hence the contingency. Now, we use a form here that's called the right of first refusal, which is also very confusing for most people because it doesn't say it's a contingency. It says right of first refusal. So I'll start with explaining the form and then explaining the rest of this. The right of first refusal, or an RFR status in MLS, as we call it, is a form in which when you write an offer on a property, you tell the person it is contingent upon my house selling and closing and funding by this date in the future. That amendment also gives the ability for you, the buyer, or you, the seller, to get more earnest money. The second part of that says that in the right of first refusal, I'm going to tie up your house, but you can still market and show it during that time frame because I have this contingency. And if you get another offer in, you're going to give me the first right to say I'm in or out on that addendum. That's why we call it the right of first refusal. If you cannot go ahead with the purchase because of the contingency, then you let the seller out of the contingency and they can move forwards with the different contract. You can put up additional earnest money in that paragraph on that addendum that says, I'm going to remove the contingency, and to prove it, I'm going to give you so much more money towards my earnest money to say I'm in earnest closing on your house no matter what. That is what helps you secure that with the seller. And as a seller, that is what helps secure the fact that you've got a larger amount of money to say this transaction is going to go through. Now, let's take a step backwards from all of that. If I'm a buyer, a contingency is not usually as favorable when purchasing a property because I'm not necessarily 100% complete can close until something else happens. It does often preclude less negotiation. However, the positive is, as a buyer, I can secure a property and know that I have some place to go when I'm closing on mine. Now, what is the best way to do a contingency? When you are under contract on your property, because it is more likely to close versus the seller waiting for you to sell your property. As a seller, when you're looking at a contingency, those are the two questions. Is it already under contract, or are you still putting it up for sale and have to find the buyer? That is an important, or those are important questions to ask for you to make your decision. Sometimes contingencies work out well. For both parties, there is risk. So hopefully that explains a little bit about what is a contingency in our contracts and the addendum that we use, which has different language on it than saying it's a contingency, and what confuses everyone. I'm Missy Stegers, broker owner of M. Stegers Realty Partners. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Monday Matters. Every Monday at 11:30, we're here to answer your questions. You can always message us, call us, or send us an email, and we're happy to